Why are German tanks called Zoo, and the heaviest tank in the world is called a Maus? Today, let's take a look at the history of German tank development. In September 1916, the UK first invested in the Mark I tank in the Battle of Somerset. This posed a huge threat to Germany on the battlefield. It was from this moment that Germany realized that it should build its own tank. They immediately studied the British tank that was smuggled in, and in 1917, they began to develop the A7V. The test was completed in just 10 months, and they produced 20 tanks that could go to the battlefield. A7V is one of the most important tanks in the First Battle. Its firepower is very powerful. The firepower configuration of a 6-barrel machine gun plus a fire cannon makes it a powerful firepower support platform. Especially in static defense or ground-to-ground attacks, the effect of suppressing infantry is extremely significant, and it can defend most of the infantry's light weapons at that time. But it is still very weak against direct hits or large armor-piercing shells. Its maximum speed can theoretically reach 15 kilometers per hour, but its maneuverability is extremely poor. It is more like a mobile fortress than a modern tank. Because its weight is too heavy and the gap between the ground and the ground is too small, it is easy to fall into a mud and uneven battleground. Although it can hold 18 people, the space in the car is extremely crowded and complicated, and the ventilation is extremely poor. Communication is basically all by mouth. And because A7V is all handmade, almost every tank is different. After the end of the First Battle, because of the restrictions of the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was strictly prohibited from producing tanks. But Germany did not give up. Instead, it used cooperation with the Soviet Union, such as the Common Laboratory and domestic secret projects to study tanks, by studying the shell of the tractor. In 1928, Germany designed a tank codenamed Large Tractor. This tank produced a total of 6 and was not mass-produced. In addition to this large tractor tank, a light tractor tank was also produced at that time. But this tank also had obvious shortcomings, so it was not mass-produced. But the German senior officials think that how can a country not have a tank? So they have never given up studying tanks. In 1934, Germany also developed a heavy tank codenamed NBFC. This tank appeared and went to the Berlin International Car Show, becoming an effective proof of German industrial propaganda. But this tank also had other problems: poor mobility and poor defense capability. It is easy to be shot by a rifle, so this tank only produced 5 and stopped production. Because the tanks developed by Germany before were more stupid, they could not quickly attack the target. So after Guderian and others proposed the theory of lightning war, Germany began to design light tanks. Because if you want to carry out a lightning war, you have to have a tank as the core force that can quickly attack the target and be able to fight together with the Air Force and infantry. So Germany designed the light tank No. 1. This tank is mainly used for training. It was used a lot in the Spanish Civil War and the early days of World War II. No. 1 tank produced about 1,500. But because No. 1 tank only had a machine gun and the armor was too weak, it was soon replaced by No. 2. No. 2 tank is an important component of German armor in the early days of World War II. It's also the main weapon of Germany's invasion of Poland. It equipped a 20mm machine gun and a 7.92mm machine gun. No. 2 tank produced about 1,800. It was still in use until the end of World War II. Although No. 2 tank has a significant increase in firepower than No. 1 tank, the armor is still very weak. So in May 1937, Germany produced No. 3 tank. The design of No. 3 tank is for the main tank of Germany. It is equipped with a 37mm gun. It was later upgraded to a 50mm gun and an MG-34 machine gun. In May 1945, after the French War, No. 3 tank was upgraded to a Type 1 tank. Not only did it enhance the armor, but also upgraded the suspension and engine. Not long after, it was upgraded to an H-type tank. This tank upgraded the 37mm gun to a 50mm gun and enhanced the armor to 60mm. But after meeting the American Sherman tank, Germany found that its tank was fully suppressed. so Germany upgraded No. 3 tank to an L-type tank. This time it upgraded the long-range gun and engine and also enhanced the turret armor to 57 millimeters. Not long after, No. 3 tank was upgraded again. After this upgrade, it was officially used by the Army. Not only did it install a firing device, but also added a 5mm armor plate and a 50mm long-range gun with a 60x scope. No. 3 tank produced a total of 5,700 tanks. No. 4 tank was also produced at the same time as No. 3 tank. The design of No. 4 tank is for the medium-sized tank that supports infantry. It is equipped with a short 75mm gun. It is used to launch high-fire cannons to destroy the enemy's eyes and machine guns. Because its vehicle space is large and its potential for upgrading is good, soon it became the middle force of the German tank in World War II. Later, because it met the British and Soviet tanks, it found its shortcomings. So it was upgraded to an F1 type tank. The turret thickness was increased to 30 millimeters, the front armor was increased to 50 millimeters, and it also increased the load-bearing wheel and tire width. But because No. 4 tank can't attack from a long distance, it soon was upgraded to an F2 type tank. This time it equipped a 43x long-range gun that could effectively hit targets from a long distance. In 1944, No. 4 tank was upgraded to the strongest H-type. The long-range gun was upgraded to a 48x caliber, the maximum armor thickness was increased to 80 millimeters. The front armor was added to the back of the turret and the sides of the vehicle. But soon the Germans found that the material was not enough, so they had to start simplifying No. 4 tank. Not only did they remove the turret motor, but also changed the front armor of the vehicle into a wire mesh. No. 4 tank produced about 8,500 units. Germany relied mainly on No. 3 and No. 4. No. 1 and No. 2 as the main armor troops. Combined with excellent tactics and air-to-ground coordination, it achieved amazing results in the battles in Poland and France. But later, when facing the Soviet T-31 and KV series tanks, German tanks were significantly behind in firepower and defense. So the Germans had to start developing heavy tanks. At this time, the Zoo appeared. The first tank in the Zoo was the Tiger I type tank. It was equipped with an 88mm 56x caliber long-range gun. At a distance of 2,000 meters, it was able to easily penetrate all the tank armor of the Allied forces at that time, which gave the Tiger I an overwhelming long-range precision strike ability. But the price of the Tiger I was too high, and it was extremely time-consuming. It took about 300 hours to build a Tiger I. To put it simply, it took 300 people to work for 100 days to complete it. But Germany achieved an average of 3 to 5 days to produce a Tiger I. But it was still far below the efficiency of the Allied tanks. So the total production of the Tiger I was only about 1,300. Later, in order to fight against the Soviet S-2 heavy tanks, the Germans developed the Tiger B-type tank, which is the Tiger II in our mouth. It was equipped with an 88mm 71x caliber long-range gun. But because of the lack of material, the quality of the Tiger I was very poor. Not only was the fuel consumption high, but also because the engine overheated, and because the Tiger I was too heavy. It weighed 70 tons. At the time, many bridges and roads in Europe could not bear their weight. So Germany developed the B-type tank. It was equipped with a 75mm gun, and the speed could reach 55 kilometers per hour. Compared to the Tiger I, the production of the B-type tank can be said to save time, effort, and money. So this tank produced 6 tons of that time. Later, Germany upgraded the Black Panther with a system that can communicate directly with the tank commander, modified the driver's visual window, and increased the armor group. In order to avoid being attacked by Soviet anti-tank guns, the armor thickness was increased. But later, because of the lack of material, the driver's visual window was replaced by a telescope. But this did not affect the production of the Black Panther J. It is still the best tank in the Black Panther series. With the end of World War II, Germany could no longer study tanks. Until 1956, the Federal Republic of Germany obtained permission to develop tanks. This time, they developed the Panther I. The core concept of this tank is pursuing mobility. It is equipped with a Daimler-Benz diesel engine and 105mm cannon.
As soon as this tank went on the market, it was madly purchased by countries around the world and was recognized as one of the best tanks. Later, Germany cooperated with the United States to develop the Panther II heavy tank. It is equipped with a 120mm cannon and a fire control system. It is recognized as the best tank in Europe.